The overall precipitation outlook in terms of drying things out is looking better. Seeing signals of some showers, thunderstorms, but not this overly wetter than normal pattern setting up across the plains or even across the Midwest, where we've seen historic flooding back into Kentucky, Tennessee, southern Indiana into Ohio. So drier pattern over the next, I'd say a couple of weeks, April 13th through the 17th. There's that ridge of high pressure, but also you can kind of connect that ridge back down here to the south as well. So we're going to get more clipper systems trying to work through the United States from the south to the north, back up to the northeast, rather than these strong cold fronts or low pressure systems working deep down here to the south. When that happens, you pick up a lot of Gulf moisture. So rather shallow storm systems worked across the United States. That's the 13th through the 17th. You take into account what's going on with the temperature outlook, 13th through the 17th. Starting to see that above normal temperature range expand both over towards the east as well as to the west as that ridge of high pressure we've been talking about the last couple of days becomes the defining feature for the long-term forecast. So jet stream going into the weekend, and there's the ridge starting to form with a shallow trough by Saturday and Sunday. A system, the overall pattern sets itself up for a ridge down here to the south, and the shallow troughs trying to work from the west to the east. Not a lot of dig down here to the south, so more clipper systems. The other part of this is you don't see a substantial rainfall or cold air bottling up down here to the south. And again, off onto the west coast, this is one thing we look for with in terms of that long-term pattern is you got more ridging on the west coast, which is going to overtake parts of the United States eventually down the line. So not this week, but next week, kind of that 10 to 14 day period. Current snow depth in and across the United States, that includes parts of the Northeast. Queen, New Mexico, sunny, high around 78 degrees, low of 54 degrees. Ryan, Michigan, cloudy, high of 46, low of 33 there through Michigan. And Pebble Hill, Tennessee, sunny, high of 70, low of 52 degrees.